Hello, my dear students. Good morning to everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Today, we are going to discuss our next topic, which is division. So, as you already know, that this is the symbol of division. Now, we are going to discuss about the terms of division. So, students, there are four terms of division: divisor, dividend, quotient, and remainder. So, you must be thinking, what are these terms? So, divisor is the number that divides, dividend is the number to be divided, and quotient is the answer of the division, and remainder is the number left after dividing. So, students, in this question, you can see 3 is the number which divides 12. So, 3 is divisor. 12 is the number which is divided. So, it is dividend. 4 is the answer of division, so it is quotient, and after dividing you can see we get 0 left for the remainder. So after that, how do we find out that our division is correct or not? So for verification of division, we have a formula which is dividend is equal to divisor multiplied by quotient. Then we have to add the remainder with the product. So as you can see, 3 is the divisor, so we have divided 3 by 4, which is the quotient. So we get 3 4s are 12, and at last we have to add the remainder with the product. So we get 0 as the remainder, so we can write 12 after adding, which is equal to the dividend, as you can see from the question. Now next topic is properties of division. So the first property is 0 divided by any number except 0 gives 0 as the quotient. For example, 0 divided by 85 is equal to 0. Now student, you should remember that a number cannot be divided by 0, which means 85 divided by 0 is not equals to 0. You can say if we divide any number by 0, so we will not get the quotient as 0. Now, the second property is any number divided by 1 gives the number itself as its quotient. For example, 18 divided by 1 is equal to 18. Now, we'll see the last property, which is any number divided by itself gives 1 as its quotient. For example, 26 divided by 26 is equal to 1. So students, these are the properties of division, or you can say division facts. So you should remember these properties. Now we'll talk about the relation between multiplication and division. And for that, students, you can see some number of rows and number of stamps in each row is given. So from there you can see here 5 is the number of groups, and we multiply 5 with the number of stamps in each group, which is equal to 4. So after multiplying we get 20 as the total number of stamps. So we can also say this is the multiplication fact. Now student, if we have to write the same question for the division fact, so how we should write? So first we will write total number of stamps, which is equal to 20, divided by number of groups, which is equal to 5, and at last the quotient will become the number of stamps in each group, which is equal to 4. So this will be the division fact for this multiplication. So students, I hope you have understood the relation between multiplication and division. Now here I am going to tell you with another example. 5 multiplied 3 is equal to 15. So for writing the division fact for this multiplication, we can write product as the dividend, and any of these factors from 5 and 3, if we write as the divisor, so we'll get the other factor as the quotient. From here you can see 15 divided by 3, so we get 5 as the quotient, and if we divide 15 by 5, so we'll get 3 as the quotient. One more thing here, we can say division is the inverse of multiplication. Now students, we'll see division of one digit number without remainder. So for this, example 1 is divide 96 by 4. So here when you do the division for 96 by 4, so first we have to take ones digit number, which is 9, and count the table of 4 and see which one is the closest to 9. We can see in 4 table 4 2s are 8, which is closest to the 9. So we'll take it and write it down below 9. And 2 we will write as the quotient. So after that we have to subtract. When we subtract, we get 1, and then we will write the next number, which is 6. So we get 16. Now we will again count the table of 4 and find out the number which is equal to or closest to the number. So in table of 4 you can see 4 4s are 16. So we can take it from the table and write it down below 16. After that again we have to do the subtraction. So after subtracting we'll get 0 as the remainder, and we get quotient as the 24. Now example 2 is divide 9394 by 7. So for that also we'll do the same thing. We'll follow the same process. First we have to take one digit number because we are dividing this number by 7, and 7 is one digit number. So first we have to find out in 7 table which number is equal to or closest to the number. So in 7 table we get 7 ones are 7 is as the closest number of 9. So after that we have to do the subtraction. So after subtracting 9 from 9 minus 7 we get 2, and then we have to write the next number below, and then we get 23. So after that again we have to count the table of 7 and we'll see which number is closest to 23 or equal to 23. In 7 table we can see there is 21 3 times. So we will take it and write it down below 23. So after that again we have to do the subtraction, and after subtracting we'll get 2. Again we'll see the next number, which is 9. So we'll write it down below. After writing, it will become 29. So now again we have to count the table and we'll see the closest number to the 29. So which is 28 4 times. So we'll take it and write it down. 7 4s are 28. Then we have to do the subtraction, and after subtracting we'll get 1, and then we will write down 4. So when we count the table of 7, so we can see 7 2s are 14. So we will write 7 2s are 14. So after subtracting we get 0 as the remainder, because here there is no number left which we can write down from the dividend. So we will end our division here. After that we can see The quotient is equal to 1342 and remainder is equal to 0. Now students, division of one digit number with remainder. So for that, here I have taken an example. Divide 2908 by 6. So we will follow the same rule which we have done in the previous division. First we will take one digit from the number which is 2, and because 2 is less than 6 which is not divisible, so that's why we will take two digit number from the dividend, and it is 29. Now we have to count the table of 6 and we will find out the equal number or closest number to the 29. So we can see it is 24. 6 4s are 24. So we will write it down, and after that we have to do the subtraction. After subtracting we will get 5, and then we have to write the next number which is 0 below. So it will become 50. Again we have to follow the same steps. So we can see in 6 table 6 8s are 48, which is closest to 50. So we will take that number and write it down. Then we will do the subtraction and we get 2. Again we will write down the next number below. So it will become 28, and then we will follow the steps. So we can see 6 4s are 24, which is closest to 28. So after subtraction we get 4 as the remainder, and quotient is 484. I hope you have understood how do we do the division. Now students, let's see the number divided by two digit number. So here are some example. Divide 4358 by 12. So for that again we have to follow some steps. So step 1 is compare the digits. So for two digit number we will take two digit, and two digit number from the dividend is 43. So next step is to divide, and for dividing we will see table of 12. So in 12 table we have to find out the equal number or closest number from the table, so which is 36, and how many times we'll get that number. So 12 3s are 36. So we'll write 3 as the quotient and 36 below 43. And then next step is to subtract. So for that we have to do the subtraction, and after subtracting we'll get 7. And the next step is to bring down next digit which is 5. So it will become 75, and then again we have to repeat the steps from step 1 to step 5 till we get there is no number left to bring down. So we get 72 from the table of 12, which is closest to 75. So we'll write it and then we subtract and we get 3. After that we bring down the next number which is 8. So again we have to do the comparison, and we will see 12 3s are 36, which is closest to 38. And then we have to do the subtraction, and after subtracting we'll get 2 as the remainder. So I hope you have understood. In the last example I have told every steps. The same way you can do the division for any number. Just you have to follow the steps. First comparison, then division, then multiplication, then subtract, and then bring down the next number. And then we have to repeat until we get there is no number left to bring down. Next topic is division by 10, 100 and 1000. First one is division by 10. So student, here I have given some examples. First example is 347 divided by 10. When we divide 347 by 10, so we'll get 34 as the quotient and 7 as the remainder. And the second example is 5681 divided by 10, and after division we can see the quotient is 568 and the remainder is 1. So student, from here we can say when a number is divided by 10, so the digits in its ones place forms the remainder and the remaining digits forms the quotient. Now here is an example of without dividing. How do we divide a number by 10? So find out the quotient and remainder of 468 divided by 10. So what you have to do, we can just see, because we are dividing by 10, so the ones digit becomes remainder and the remaining digits, which is 46, becomes the quotient. Quotient is equal to 46 and remainder is equal to 8. Now the second is division by 100. So we'll see with some example. 321 divided by 100. So after dividing we'll get 3 as the quotient and 21 as the remainder. And 7847 divided by 100. So after division we can see 78 is the quotient and 47 is the remainder. So from here we can say when a number is divided by 100, then the ones digit and tens digit of the dividend forms a remainder and the remaining digits forms a quotient. From example we can see how do we find quotient and remainder without any division. So find out the quotient and remainder of 6348 divided by 100. So because we are dividing by 100, so we will see the last two digits, which is ones and tens place, will become remainder and the remaining digits, which is 63, is quotient. So we can say quotient is equal to 63 and remainder is equal to 48. Now we'll see division by 1000. Again with some example I would like to explain. So first example is 9318 divided by 1000, and after division we can see 9 is the quotient and 318 is the remainder. And the second example 19400 divided by 1000. So after dividing we'll get 19 as the quotient and 400 as the remainder. So from these example we can say when a number is divided by 1000, then ones, tens and hundreds digit of the dividend forms the remainder and the remaining digits forms the quotient. Let's see with an example. And how do we find out the quotient and remainder of division by 1000? So find out the quotient and remainder of 56,984 divided by 1000. So because we are dividing it by 1000, so last three digit, which is ones, tens and hundred place, will become remainder and the remaining digits will become quotient. So we can say 56 is the quotient and 984 is remainder. So students, here is a summary of division by 10, 100 and 1000. When a number is divided by 10, the last digit is the remainder, while the rest of the digits forms the quotient. Second, when a number is divided by 100, then the number formed by the last two digits, which is ones and tens place, is the remainder, while the rest of the digits forms the quotient. And the third one is when a number is divided by 1000, then the number formed by the last three digit, which is ones, tens and hundred, is the remainder, and the rest of the digits forms the quotient. I hope you have understood how do we find the quotient and remainder of the division by 10, 100 and 1000 without doing any division. Now students, here I am giving you one activity. So you have to find the numbers in each square boxes. So each row and column is the division problem. So you have to complete the maths and write the answer in the empty spaces. And student, as I have told here that each row and column is the division problem. So you just have to find out which number is suitable for which blank space. So just solve these problems in your copy, and you can also solve the questions from the book for the division. I hope you have understood all the topics from this chapter. Thank you, students.